Okay. Hey y'all, it's Nomadic Shaman here. Thank you so much for visiting my page. Today's video is going to be a continuation of the Nancy Guthrie's case. Um, there was a, let me just say this. Before I start, let me just share the disclaimer. This intended reading is for edutainment purposes, so please use your own discernment. Furthermore, whenever you pull cards or you do an energy reading, but in this case, pull cards, that you can pull cards, receive information, hold off, and then pull cards again and receive information that wasn't present with the first pull. And so that was the case here, or maybe it was always here, but I was just able to connect dots with the cards that I did pull this time around. So I wanted to share with you all that, okay? First things first, we'll get to the good news, consistent news here. I have the Six of Wands, the Sun card, and Eight of Wands. So what this communicates to me is that she will be found. Law enforcement and the FBI will be successful in locating Nancy Guthrie. Okay, there'll be fast communication coming in. She will be found. Okay, now the next part of it that I wanted to include is let's go back over here. If we go back over here, first couple of things that popped out. The two women to the left and right wearing pink and red, okay? And then the house behind them. Automatically, I was able to discern from this that Nancy was wearing a pink robe. Ooh, pink, I meant to say pink nightgown. So either a pink, red, or magenta nightgown and or robe combination. We move over here. This is further confirmation. I'm seeing red. I'm also seeing someone in distress, unable to go to sleep. Looks like they have a quilt over them, a blanket over them. And then in the back, it would appear to be a cross, but more specifically, a burial ground. So what this tells me is Nancy had a lot of sleepless nights. She was in distress, anxiety, stressed out, thinking about whether or not she was going to make it out. Okay. And this is showing past, okay, past. But anything that I say could be for past, present, or future, okay? Now here I'm seeing red again, but I'm also seeing hang one usually stands for waiting, indecision, can also mean strategic patience. So while the people who abducted her, while they're waiting to try to figure out what their next steps are, it looks like she's being held here. And you're probably like, well, where's here? Here is a combination of where there are trees, there's greenery. It looks like you can overlook the water. Okay. Let's move over to this card. It is where you can take your pets. It is where there's cliffs, okay, overlooking the greenery, overlooking water. If I go closer, the one thing that stuck out to me, at least in this card, was a rose, okay? If I go back here, I see a rose on the quilt, okay? If I go here to this, over to the next card. This was one of the cards that showed, I think in my previous video, water source, okay. Vast land that one can overlook or look out where you have children playing. If we go over here, because I believe I saw red roses or flowers here, which seems to be the case. Now, this really stuck out to me because I'm like, rose. Y'all, when I looked this up online and I was trying to figure out if there was natural parks within Arizona, within close proximity. The one thing that stuck out to me, I believe, was the Rose Lake Canyon. Okay, Rose Lake Canyon, because the vision I received was ducks swimming in like a river and birds flying high. And my spiritual team said, follow the birds, follow the birds. And so it's funny because when I looked this up online and I saw an image, the first thing I saw were ducks. Um, Ducks in the river and then birds flying high. And it happened to be an image of the Rose Lake Canyon. Okay. Now, there's going to be, like I said before, fast communication about finding the Empress, which is Nancy Guthrie. Okay. And here we go with this pink robe again. So I really feel like she was wearing a pink or red robe or nightgown. Now, where they're going to find her, because I see union, 2 cups stands for union. It's going to be close to water. It's going to be in the greenery, amongst the greenery, okay, overlooking the greenery. Y'all, this looks like the Rose Lake Canyon. I think I'm saying it right. If we go back here, I go closer. It looks like, doesn't this look like Savannah? And doesn't this look like this could be her brother and playing? And then the older woman is looking at her as if she's used to seeing them play in this particular area. At least this is what I got. Okay. So her family is very knowledgeable of this area. They've come to this area a lot of times as children, even bringing their grandchildren to play. This is what I'm getting from this card. And so I feel really strongly that is in the Rose Lake Canyon. Okay. The other thing that I will say is here, just to confirm, let me move these cards right here. Okay. So here, water source, mountains, people go hiking is where you go hiking. Somebody who's hiking, has a backpack on, overlooking the water source, okay, on a cliff. Here, pathway, okay, trees, closer. It looks like it's not a rose, but it looks like red flowers, okay. Then I come up here, red flowers, rose, white lilies. You zoom in, mountains, okay. So I feel really strongly that this is where she's being held. This is also where the family have often frequented, both in childhood and adulthood. And I don't feel like she's outside. I feel like she's in like a 4-structured wall, okay, or it has 4 structures, okay. She's not in the water. She's not outside. She's in a structured type of building, okay? Now, the last thing that I wanted to say before I wrap up this video is Spirit told me to take a look at this card. There's somebody who has involvement with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, who looks like this guy right here, okay? Mustache, a little bit of hair under the lip, and hair on his chin. He looks like this guy, okay? Spirit told me that there are up to 6 people who are involved in or have knowledge of the planning, and the premeditation, the act of the disappearance, and the act of covering up evidence. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna end this video. I'll see you on the other side. Peace.